Hello everyone, welcome to the data analysis with Python training program. Today we are going to start our module 5 pandas. In this lecture we are going to cover pandas. So let's explore all the things with the help of Jupyter. We are going to study about pandas, the most important library used in data analysis. We are going to practice all the things along with theory in Jupyter Notebook. So everyone please open the Jupyter Notebook now. Today we are going to study about pandas. Pandas is an open source library providing high performance data manipulation and analysis tool using its powerful data structures. Name pandas is derived from the word panel data and econometrics from multidimensional data. Actually, pandas is a library which will give you the power for data manipulation. In pandas, there are different data structures which will help you in the data analysis process. Alright, so there are mainly 5 steps in data analysis. The first one is loading data, then we go for the preparation, and then we move for the manipulation of data, and then model, and then last we go for the analyze. In the third stage, that one is manipulation section, pandas will help you in the data analysis. And in the fourth one, that one is model, the matplotlib library as well as Seaborn. These things, the data visualization part will help you in the further processes. Alright. So now we will discuss the key features of pandas. The first one is fast and efficient data frames object. Alright. Then tools for loading data into memory data object. It has so many tools for loading data into the system. That's why pandas are more important for data analysis. Tools for loading data alignment and integrating handling of missing data. Means you can work on missing data also in pandas. With the help of pandas, you can drop any row or column from a tabular data. Alright, you can update anything, or you may also delete the missing data, because missing data makes an margin of error in the data analysis. So you always have to avoid the missing data. Alright, so it will help you in the data modeling. Means you can make data alignment and integration with the help of pandas. Then it comes for the reshaping and pivoting of data sets. Then it will be helpful in label based slicing, indexing of large data set. Most of the time we will be working on a huge data set of minimum lines with 10,000, 20,000, up to this much line you have to make a data analysis. So in those conditions pandas will help you. Alright. After that, columns from a data structure can be deleted or inserted. Group by data for aggregation and transformation. High performance merging and joining data. Time series functionality. You can also work on time series functionality in pandas. Alright. So I am going to start with the first thing. That one is how to go through the pandas. So first of all, we will be learning about the data structures of panda. So before that, we will be installing the pandas in our system. So for that, just you have to use pip install and then write pandas. Alright, so this command will install the pandas library into your system. I have already installed, so it will show me the message that the system requirement already satisfied. If your system has not this thing, then you will be getting the things in the system. Here I have done a mistake of L, so it has displayed the error. Now it will show you the things. So let's move on. The data structures used in pandas, that one is series, and the other data set, that one is data frames. In the latest update, one more data structure of from previous has been removed, because in the previous pandas library there were a data structure called panel. On the name of panel, pandas has been renamed. Alright, but panel has been removed from the new Python pandas library. Alright, so we will be studying on two data structures, that one is series and data frames. Alright, so let's consider first the series. It is actually a one-dimensional array and it contains homogeneous data. Alright, it contains only homogeneous labeled data. So the main configuration for the series is that it will be 1D labeled homogeneous array and its size is immutable, means you cannot change the size of array of series. All right. And another one is data frames. Data frames, and this one is actually a tabular form of data. Generally, it is of 2D, labeled size. I will be talking about the labeled in the example because you might not understand the label meaning. So don't worry about that. Mutable, tabular, potentially heterogeneous, means you can store two different data types in the same data frames. All right. Heterogeneously typed columns, means you can change the data types in different columns. Basically, data frames is one of the similar structure as we use in Excel sheet. So it's actually a table. So this one is called as tabular data structure. All right. So mutability means you cannot change the things in the array. Now I am going to show you the different structures of these things. All right. So let's create. Start with the series, and that one is, first of all, we will be learning how to create a series. All right. So for that there is a syntax by like this. I'm putting a hashtag so that it gets comment out pandas, and then you have to use series, and always remember you have to keep S in capital, otherwise you will be getting error. Data, and then you have to provide index, which I have talked about for the label, that one is known as index. All right. So in only one axis you can provide the label or index. That's why this one is called single, means 1D labeled homogeneous array, and the last one is copy. By default, copy option is false, and D type actually denotes the data type of the series, and index will actually work as the, means you can change the index of the series. All right. So let's see. Series can be created with the help of array, and you can also use dictionary as well as scalar value or vector value. Sorry, or constant, not a vector value, constant. All right. So you can use all these data structures, data types for making a data structure. That one is called series. So let's create an empty series. So first of all, import the pandas library. So for that, use import pandas as PD and shift and enter and wait until the star gets converted into a number, because it is actually fetching the data for the pandas library to set in your environment now. Now for this we have to use just S is equal to PD dot series and put the S as capital, otherwise you will be getting error, and then just print S, and this one will showing you the series data type float. All right. So you can create a series with the help of array, means I am going to show you how to create a series from ND array. The first thing I am going to show you, creating a series with the help of ND array. All right. So how we will creating? For that we will be using NumPy library, because we know that for working on array we have to call the NumPy library. So just call import NumPy as NP. So this will actually call the NumPy library in the environment. Now you can work on the ND array. So just create an ND array first. So I am creating an D1 as ND array, and now I am going to put it like np dot array and just taking the values in one. Sorry, I'm not going to take like this. Okay. So put the values 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So I have created a 1D array. You can see this. This one is a one-dimensional array. Now I am going to fit this data to create an series. So for that you have to just use like this, S1 is equal to PD call the pandas library and then pass what? Series, and just pass the array. Then you are going to, whenever you are going to ask for S1, it will display you an series. Look here, this one 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5. This one is actually representing the index and this one is the value of that series. Alright, might be don't confuse with the similarities or something like that. The first row column is representing about the index and the second column is representing the values. You can also change the index by just providing the index values. Like see, I am changing the index value in the same function. Alright, so you practice by keeping it in different lines so that you can understand in future if you got stuck somewhere. Alright, so don't try to copy as I am doing. Keep it in separate line. 100, I am putting up index like this. 1 as H, then S, then R, and then H, again sorry H, use I, then use R. I have used R, so use another letter. So here how much we have taken? 5. Now put the sixth one, that one is L. Alright, so now when you are going to call S1, you will be getting value like this. H index for 1, S index for 2, R index for 3, I index for 4, W index for 5 and L index for 6. Now I am going to show you how to create a series with the help of dictionaries. Alright. So for that, just create a dictionary and just pass like this. As I am showing you, I am creating a dictionary. Data is equal to, and create a dictionary. I am taking key value as H is equal to, sorry, this one is not a dictionary format. H is equal to 45. S is equal to, means S key has value 52 and R has key value as 67. Alright, so I have created a dictionary. You can call data and you will be getting a dictionary. So this one is dictionary. Now I am passing this dictionary for making series. Alright, so just to do like this, S2 is equal to PD dot and then you write series and just pass data, because we have created data as the. Now when you are going to call S2, you will be getting value like this. H as index means all the keys will be considered as index and all the values will be aligned in the this manner. Alright, so in this way we can create an series with the, create a series with the help of dictionaries. Alright, dictionary keys are used for construct index. Alright, you can also convert it into your own individual index. So for that, just use the index attribute and pass the index value. Alright, now I am going to show you create a series with the help of a scalar. This lecture is also going to be a long, so don't get irritated and just follow the things as I am showing you, because if I am going to make the length shorter, then you will miss so many things and you will not understand so many data. Alright, so just keep in your mind that you have to practice by yourself. Alright, so just focus on the things which I am showing to you and practice all those things, and you can also pause the video because you have the access all the time. Alright, so you can see any time, so that's not matter that video length is any high or short. So just go through the things how much you can digest in a single time. Alright, so I'm making it all the things in a single video. Okay, so let's see how to create a series from a scalar. So for that, just you have to create a scalar first. So I am taking a scalar S is equal to 5. Alright, this one is a scalar quantity. Now I am going to create a series with the help of this. So S3 is equal to PD dot series. I am just passing the value, that one is S, and giving the index. In this section, if how many index you will be providing, means how much index you will provide, it will take the value according to that, means the values will be repeated according to the scalar. Like I am taking index as A, then I'm taking index as B, I'm taking index also as C, I'm also taking index as D. Alright, so when I'm going to run this cell, I'll be getting the values as per our desire. This one is saying module pandas has no attribute series. I have used the small letter, that's why it has displayed the error. So keep in mind, don't use the small s here. So this one is the thing. Okay, so when we are going to do this, we will be getting the value like this. See here, 5 has been repeated all the times. Alright, so in this manner, we can create a series with the help of a scalar. Now I am going to show you how to access data from the series. You can just use the position method as we have used in list and string. So just call it by like that. So we have S1 as this value. So we have index HSRIWL. So you can also call it like this, HS of S1 of 0. You will be getting value like this. You can also call it by its index. So call it by index. You can fetch the value in this manner. Alright. So you can also use the, I have not used this thing. So in this manner you can fetch the data. You know all these things indexing, so I am not going to waste time on this thing. Alright, I am proceeding further. You can practice at your home, and you can also use the thing, that one is called the slicing part, like this S1 starting from 0 and end up to 5. So it will show you like this, S1 starting from 1 and end up to 4, like this, S1 starting from 1 and end up to last, like this, S1 starting from initial end at 5 and take a jump of 2, like this. So in this manner you can practice for the slicing part. Alright, so by using this thing we can fetch the data from the series. Okay, now I am going to show you how to delete a particular element from the series. So for that you have to just use remove function, and then you will be able to removing the data from the data set. Alright, you just have to pass the index, and that thing you can use the pop thing like this, s1.pop, and just use 1, and this one is showing the error like key error is equal to 1. Okay, so just pass the index. So this one has popped out the element from the S1. So in this manner you can also remove the data. Now you can see that 1 has been removed from the series. Okay, so by using index you can pop out the data from the series. Don't use the remove function because this one is not used in pandas library. Pop is used for the removing out data from the series. Okay, now we are moving towards the another data structure. That one is called data frame. Actually this one is in the tabular form. Okay, and its size is also mutable, and this one is two-dimensional data structure, like in a table. What there are two dimensions, that one is row and another is column. So that's why this one is 2D dimensional. Okay, I'm going to show you the examples. So creating a data frame, you have to just use the syntax, just I am showing you on the screen, and that one is what, pandas dot, and then use data frames. Alright, and just pass the data and index, then pass the column, then pass the d type, and in the last, that one is copy. Okay, so data, you know what are the things, the array or list or dictionary which you want to put in the data structure, that one is considered as data, and index of those things is considered for the index value. And then columns are the optional labels, means you can change the label for the column, means you can also add the, like you have index in this series, you can see this thing, this one is one row, this one is another row, this one is another row. See here, each row has one index, so all the index thing is considered in, means all the row index will be considered in the index thing, and all the columns label will be considered in column, and d type will denote the data type, and copy is for the copying the data. Okay, so I'm going to show you the example. By example you will be understanding it in better format. So you can use list, dictionary, series, numpy ND array and another data frame also as data type in the data frame. Okay, so let's create an empty data frame first. So for that we have already called the num pandas library, so we don't need to call again, just use df1 data frame 1 is equal to pd dot, just use data and frame and just pass like this. Always remember you have to use D capital and F capital, otherwise you will be getting error. Okay, so consider this thing. See here, this one is an empty data frame. Okay, now I am going to show you something like we have got the empty data frame. Now see here, we are going to create a data with the help of list. Okay, so D is equal to, I am taking a list and I am taking the list of all the vowels A, E, and then I, again O and U. Okay, I'm taking a list to create a data frame. So for that, what we have to use, D1 is equal to PD dot data frame, and just you pass the all the things here. So what you have to do, you have to just pass the data, that one is D, and then you can also set the index also here. So for index we are going to set, so firstly without any index, then I will be showing you with the index. Okay, so look here, this one is actually converted into a form of table. You can see this one is representing the row and this one is representing the column. If you are not providing any index, then by default it will start from 0 and it will take up to n. Here there is only one column, means you are using a 1D array of size 1, that's why it's displaying a single column. Okay, if you will be using 2 or more columns, then it will be showing you the 2 or more columns. Okay, so I am going to show you how to use the other things, like how to index the position for column. I am going to show you the marks of, means a tabular form of data frame. That one is the marks of our students in JEE Mains. Okay, so let's make this thing. So data means D2 is equal to, let's consider D2 is equal to, and take the data. Okay, so I'm taking the name of the student as Mohan and he has a score 78 marks in physics, 89 marks in math and chemistry, and 75 marks in mathematics. Okay, there is one more another student, that one is Syam, such a YAM, you can consider anything whatever you want. Okay, so he has scored like this, and now it's third, so that you can visualize all the things easily. Let's say he is Gautam. Okay, so he is scoring the marks like 75, 78 and 85. Okay, so this one is the data which we are going to take for the data frame. So for creating data frame, PD dot data frame, and then just pass the data D2 and then and set the index thing. That one is, this one is name, and I am setting the index for column only. Okay, so I am setting columns is equal to, and I am passing the value, like the first one is what, name of the student, and the other one is representing the physics, and the next column is representing as chemistry, and the another column representing for the mathematics, and you can also set the value for the index. So I am setting also index is equal to, if we will not give the index, it will start from 0, so I am putting it in the index starting from 1, then 2, then 3. Okay, so that we get a quite good looking data. So you can see this, we have created a data frame with the students marks here. You can consider all these things. Look here, this thing has been converted into the table format. You can see that the column level has been changed from this value, this list, the column list, and the index of the means row level has been changed with the index level. Okay, so by this you can style the data frame. Okay, Now I am going to show you how to create data frames with the help of dictionary of ND array. I am not going to show all the combinations because that will make the video length much higher. So take the help of Google or otherwise use your own creativity to assign, like making data frame with the help of list of dictionaries, dictionary of list, something like that. Okay, so go for that. All right, I'm going to show you a single thing. That one is data frame from list of dictionaries, and the rest thing I will be leaving on you to practice at your home. If you will not practice, you will forget all the things and you will not be able to work on the data. So I have asked what? I am going to create a data frame from list of dictionary. So I am taking a list, like in India, the value is, means India has a score 453 run in the first inning. Okay, and in the second inning, India has a scored India 2, and India has a scored how much runs? 784 runs. All right, I'm taking the another list value as dictionary same. Now Pakistan has a scored 324 run in the first inning, and they had a scored Pakistan 2, and they has a scored run like 421 in the second inning. Okay, so this one is our list of dictionaries. Now I am going to create the data frame. So just use pd dot data frame and just pass what? D3. So you will be getting like this. India has a scored this one run. India's is in the first inning, in the second inning, this one. This one is actually displaying you the NaN, means at the place of empty cell, it always be displaying you NaN, means not available data. Okay, so you can see this thing that in the first column we have created how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4 column, and we are just passing the value 453784 in this manner. That's why this one is showing you the error. Is not error, means the empty value like this. Okay, so you can create anything with the help of this thing. Okay, you can also set the value like this, means change the value like here India, and here change it to Pakistan, and this will makes you to look better, and here again change it to Pakistan. Okay, and let's consider the index will be showing the innings. So set the index as 1 and 2. So this will represent you the index of innings. Okay, you can also pass like string inning 1, and you can also pass here like inning 2. Okay, so when you are going to run this cell, you are going to get value like this. India has scored like this, in this manner. India has scored the values. Okay, now consider value from creating a, sorry, I'm not going to create any more thing. You have to practice by yourself, and what you have to practice I am giving you on the screen. So practice all these things, otherwise you will be in trouble, means you will not learn anything else. So create a data frame. If you got stuck, then just ping me either in classroom or in doubt chat room. Anyway, you can ask the doubt. Dictionary of series. Okay, and then you have to work on the. Now I'm going to show you the column selection, means how to make a column selection, means how to select a particular column from a data frame. Okay, so first create a column. So I'm going to create with the help of dictionary. So let's consider here I am taking the value like India as one key and passing a series pd dot series, and then using the value like India as 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm setting the index as ABC or something other you can also set. So I'm setting index as ABC. So set the index as ABC. I am setting the index for what? List value. Index is equal to A, B, and then set index for C. Actually, I am not setting for the list value. This one is setting the index for series. Okay. So we have taken the first one. Now I am going to create the second element in the same dictionary. So what we have to do? We have to just use like this, comma, and then go for the second. And now I am taking India 2 as the second key, India 2 as the second key, and I am taking the value again in series pd dot series. Here I have used the small letter, so change it to capital, otherwise you are going to get the error. So pd dot series, and I am creating again a series, and now I am taking the value one more than that. That one is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and I am setting all the index for this thing, like index is equal to ABCD. Okay, A, B, and then go for the another value C, and again another value as D. So I have created invalid syntax. This one is showing why. Might be I have missed something. So let's cross verify all the things. pd dot series invalid syntax. This one is showing the error at here. I have put it a dot, and this one is the error. Okay, so we have created this thing. Now I am going to create a data frame first. So d5 will be pd dot data frame, and just pass the variable name d. Okay, so this one is going to be the data here. Okay, so you can make column selection, like I am going to select a column by using like this. You can select by column like using df and just use India, and then you will be getting, sorry, I have used df at the place of d5, so I have got all the values in the India. See here, all the values India 1 to 3, and at the fourth index, that one is D, we have nothing value, so this one is showing as NN, and the data type for the India is float 64. You can also make selection by using India 2. You know that the all the key values converted into column, so this one is considered as column selection. You can also go for the row selection. Okay, so now I am going to show you how to add two columns. So just you can perform like this, d5 of India plus d5 India 2. This will add the two columns. You can see the value has been added. Okay, and you can see this, that in D there is nothing value in the first one, and in the second one there is a value. That one is what? 7. So that one is not getting added into the last column because there is nothing value to be get added. Okay, so in this manner you can add the value directly. Okay, now if for deletion part you have to use just the same as we have used it there, d5 dot pop, and just pass the index. I'm passing out index A. Sorry, A is a string, so just use like this. So this one is showing the error again. What is the error? Sorry, I am using the wrong index because this one is not an index. So just pass here what? India, and then you will be getting like value like this. India has been popped out from the series, sorry, data frame. So by using pop you can delete anything. Okay, you can also use del, and if you are going to use del function, then it will be deleting all the means the full data frame. Okay, so when you have to delete the whole thing, then you have to use del, and if you want to pop out a single element, then you go for the pop. Okay, now I'm going for the row selection, addition and deletion. So for row selection, you have to use the function called lock. This one is actually the function you use for the row selection. And if you are going for the row selection where index is not defined, then you have to use ilog. Okay, so these are the two functions which we use for the row selection part. Okay, so first create data frame, then we go for the selection part. Okay, so how we can do this? Just create the data frame. I am creating D and taking 1, and then the values of this as pd dot series, and just taking 1 comma 2 comma 3, and index for this thing, index is equal to a, b and c. Okay, and I'm taking another one, that one is 2. This one is actually similar to the above one. So just create pd dot series and take a value of series, and take the value like 1 2 3 4, and insert the index as a, then go for the b, then go for c, then go for d. So here we have the D6 data frame, and we can create by using pd dot data frame and just pass the d, and we will be getting the D6 as this. Now I am going to perform the row selection, row addition and row deletion. So for selection, what I have to show you, means what I have said to you, use the lock function. So just call like this, D6 dot lock, and just pass the, in a square bracket you have to pass, don't use the parenthesis here. So I'm just passing the row, index of row as c. Okay, so this will pop out, means the it will select the all the values, means all the columns from the c row. You can see that it has selected the c row. The one column has 3 value, and the another one is also the value as 3. You can also select any row. So go for the log and then just use d, and this will select the value as d. Okay, so in this manner you go for the row selection, and you can also select by using integer location. For that you have to use the ilog. Okay, so you can also consider that the value index a is also similar to index 0, so you can call by 0. So for that you have to use d6 dot ilog and just use 0, then you will be getting value of the first row. Okay, so in this manner you can use the ilog and log function. You can also slice the rows, like I'm going to slice d6, and I'm going to slice starting from initial and in that 2, so I'm getting like this. Okay, so in this manner you can slice all the values. Okay, so perform all the slicing by your. Now I'm going to show you the addition of rows, means how to add rows in the data frame. Means we have already a data frame and we want to add some more rows. Okay, so let's take one data frame as equal to pd dot data frame, and just take the value, like we have values like 1 comma 2, and then just take another thing, that one is 3 comma 4. Okay, I'm just taking this much, and columns name, write the set the column names, and I'm setting the column names as COULMNS columns as H, and another one as S. Okay, and now create another data set, that one is TF2, and set the data frame, and just create another one like taking value 5 6 and now taking value as 7 8. Now I am going to show you how to add the rows into a particular data frame. Okay, so use R and columns is equal to, put the column name as same so that you can add the data easily, otherwise it will create another column and you will be showing the data not in particular orientation. So use the same column name as we have used earlier. So here are the two data frames. You can check it by using df, sorry I used the wrong thing, df like this and df2 like this. Now I'm going to add these two data frames. So for that you have to use what? Df dot append and just pass the second data frame which you want to append or add rows. Now you can see that the row has been added to this data frame. Alright, so in this manner you can add the rows in a data frame. For deletion you have to use a function called drop. Here you don't use the function pop as I have passed the here in the previous one where I have shown you how to delete. I have used the location or index of the row, then we have got the error. Alright, so for this we have to use df dot drop and I'm dropping the 0, then it will drop all the values of 0. So it has dropped the value from the 0 position. Okay, now we have not stored this value in particular, so this one has actually dropped the value from the df. If you want to store in the df, then you have to use here what? Df is equal to this. Then if you will run this cell, then you will be getting value like this, because if you have not put it an equal to, then it actually not change the actual data, it's just show you the addition operation, not change the actual values. Okay, so in this manner you can work on the data frames. Now we are going for the next thing, that one is basic functionalities. So first of all we will work on the series basic functionality. I will be showing only the basic functionality today, and in the next lecture I will be showing you the other operations also. Okay, so let's see. There are attributes and method for the series. That one is access. It actually returns a list of the rows. That one is access, and it will returns you a list of the row axis labels. Means actually it will return you the all the labels of the row axis. Okay, and you know that series is one dimensional, so there is only a row axis, so it will be returning you the in a form of list. Okay, then there is a function called dtype. This will give you the data type of the object, and then empty. Empty returns true if series is empty, and it will return false if series will not be empty. Endim will return you the dimension of the series, and that will always be 1 because series is always a 1D. Okay, and the values will return you the series as NDA, and head means there is a function called values. This one is actually not a function, this one is actually a method, and it will returns you the series as ND array. So perform all these operations at your home, try this thing. And there is also called head function, and this will gives you the first n row. First n row means how many value you are going to pass in the head, it will give you the first n row, and tail will give you the opposite thing, that one is the last n rows. Okay, so in this, by using this thing you can work on the basic functionality of series. So let's quickly see all the things. So I'm going to create a series with pd dot series, and then use numpy np dot random, and just create a random and create by using randit. Okay, random function and just take the value as 4. Okay, so here I have created a series with random values. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get the access. So for that you have to just use s dot access and it will return you start range index starting from 0 end at 4 and it has taken a step of 1. Okay, so you can also check s is empty or not. If you are going to check for s is equal to empty, then it will return you false because sorry I have used the parenthesis, that's why it has given the error. So this one is returning false because there is a values in series. Okay, so you can also use s dot ending. There is not means it is not necessary to check for the ending because always the dimension for series will be 1. Okay, now s dot size it will say give you the size of the series. Now you can also use s dot values, it will return you an nd array. See, this has returned the values in an array. Alright, so now use head and tail. What I have said, you have to pass a particular value so that it can return. I am passing 3, so it will return the first 3 values. See here, if you are going to pass like here as head and just pass 1, then it will return only 1. Okay, so by like this you can use tail also. 1 it will return 1 from the last. Okay, so these are the basic functionalities on series. Okay, now I am going to show you something on data frames, and that one is the first thing, that one is important, that one is T, and it will make a transpose rows and column. I hope you are familiar with transpose functionality in matrix, and here when you are going to apply it on data frames, the data structure of pandas, then it will actually transpose by changing the rows into column and column into rows. And there is also axis, the same as it will return you the label of column axis as well as label as the only members, because when you are going to for the axis it will return you only the column values. All right, column labels. Okay, and there are d types. This will return you the data type. Empty will check the entire data frame is empty or not. Okay, and ending will give you the access by array dimension. When you are going to use ending, it will give you the value in the format of access by ending. Sorry, array, not ending. Okay, you can use size for getting the number of elements in the ND frame. You can use size for number of elements in data frame. Okay, and then values, which will return you the, try all these functions and methods at your home. It will actually represent you the ND frame. Okay, and then ND frame, and then comes to the action, that one is head, similar like the previous one, and tail. Okay, so let's quickly recall all these things. So first create a data frame first. Okay, so I'm going to create a data structure, that one is data frame of some particular, means there will be some person name, age and their rating. Okay, so let's create quickly. Type first, so takes the first column as name and put the values, like I'm taking a list and I'm taking Ram, Mohan, Rohit, Rahul, Ajay, Suman. So I have taken what? 2, 2, 4, 6. This one is enough, man. So go for this thing only and take the another key, that one is age. I have asked about the age. Okay, so take the age and create again a list and pass the age of these students 24, 23, 21, 24. 6 value we have to pass. So there is 4 values already, 5 values, and this one is the 6th value. Okay, so we have created the 2 column. Now I am going for the rating part. So rating and put the values in a list. So I am taking the values like 4.23, 3.24, 4.36 and 4.21, 3.12. So to count the number, it is up to 6 or not, there is one missing. So take as to 1.12. So this one is the data for, this one is showing as error. Why this one is at error? I have used the right thing, but this one is displaying as error. So let's consider where is the error, because I have not put any comma here. That's why it has not taken it as a key value. Now when you are going to create a data frame by using this thing, just use d7 is equal to pd dot data frame and just pass the value d7. Okay, so in this manner you will get the, sorry, d7 is not the value, d is the value. So just do this. Now you will get the data frame like this. Name is and rating. Okay, so now I am going to perform different operations to show you how to perform this thing. So first thing I am going to show you, that one is transpose. For that, what you have to use? Just you have to use capital T. See, rows has been converted to column, column has been converted to row. Okay, so this one created the transpose. You please see this thing. I am showing you the in the first d7 dot access. Consider this thing. This will give you all the values. Means it has only given the column labels. See here, range index starting from 0 to 6, and step 1 index name is rating. This one is the column index and this one is the row index. Okay, sorry, I have said that this one is show you the only column index, it will show you both index. Okay, I have forgotten the thing, so it will show you the both index. Now I am going to show you another function, that one is data type. You can call the data type, it will show you all the data types one by one, means each individual in the different format. Okay, so d7 dot d type and just d types and then use like this. This will be showing you the output like this. You can see name is an object, age is an integer, rating is float value. Okay, now I will be showing you to check empty or not. So d7 dot empty and it will return you as false because this one is not an empty value. Now ending, so try d7 dot ending and now you will be getting value as 2 because this one is a 2-dimensional. And always remember, the data frame is always a 2D. Okay, it's not going to be changed. Shape will be changing, but the dimension will never change. Okay, so shape is 6 comma 3 because there is 6 rows and 3 columns. Now we have taken the size. Now we go for the values, d7 dot values, and you can see the values like this. It has given you all the rows value in the form of array, and you can also use the head and tail, d7 dot head, and I want the first 3 values, so it will give me the first 3 value. I want the from the last 3 value, so I will use tail and just call 3 and it will show the last 3 values. So in this manner you can call the tail and head functionality. So this is all about the basic operations which you can perform on the pandas library. Now I am going to show you the things which you will be working on the descriptive statistic. It will be quite difficult to understand, but just consider all the things. Okay, I'm going to show you. So a large number of methods collectively compute descriptive statistic and most of the other operations on data frame, and the aggregations are like sum, mean, sum. These are the few things which you will be working here. Okay, so I am going to show you how to add a particular values in a particular data frame. Okay, I am going to show you how to fit a data frame into a data frame. We have already a data frame D7. See here, up to 6 value. Now I am going to add a data frame into this. So let's create a data frame D2. Okay, data for the data frame. So I am just taking a dictionary, the same as the above one, name, and the name values will be, I am taking only 3 names here. Okay, so see here, Syam, Raju, and let's say Mohit. I have taken the 3 names. Okay, so put this thing in parenthesis so that we can understand it easily. Now I am taking the second key value, that one as is, and I am taking the values like 21, 25, 24. Okay, now I am going to take the third one, that one is rating, and I am taking the rating values as 4.8, okay, 2.5, all right, and 3.17. Okay, so I have taken the D2. Now I am going to put all this value into the data frame. Okay, so by using this thing, df is equal to pd dot data frame, and just pass the value D2, and you will be getting, sorry, I have used the wrong thing. That one is that you have to use here D7. Okay, and I'm creating a data frame D8. Sorry, I'm going to perform different operations. So create D8. So look here, D8 is here and D7 is here. Now I'm going to perform operations on these things. Okay, so let's start with the sum operation. So for that you have to use what? Just use the sum values for the data frame by using like default axis index is 0. So if you are going to perform operations on this pd dot data, sorry, we have created the data frame, so there is no need to create any data frame. Just go for the sum part. If you are not going to provide any index, all right, I am performing on D7. So it will actually concatenate all the first column elements. It has concatenated all the values here and all the values in the second column and the third column. Okay, so you can do like this. You can also like perform like D7 dot sum and just pass the index that I am passing 1, so it will add all the values of the first. Okay, so axis 1 will add all the values of the axis 1. Okay, now if you are going to set for the mean, so just you have to use D7 dot mean, and then you will be getting the mean of the all the numerical values, not on the string operation, because mean works on only numerical values. Okay, and std will give you the standard deviation. So for that you have to use just the std, d7 dot std, and it will show you the standard deviation. So by using this thing you can perform the statistic on this thing. Now you can also call the count, median, mode. Okay, So just you have to use like this d7 dot count and just pass. It will give you all the count of the means number of data available in the particular thing. We have already seen the mean. Now I'm going to show you the median. So median, you will be getting the value like this. Okay, there is a function called describe, which will actually gives you the rough idea about the all the data available in a particular data frame. Okay, so let's try first, and then we will move for the further functions in pandas. There are a lot of functions available in Python pandas library, because this one is the main library for the data analysis. Okay, so let's see the first, the describe function. So describe, and just put it here, and this will gives you the description of all the things here. See, this one has described you all the things like count, mean, standard deviation, minimum value, 25%, 50%, and 25%, and the maximum values from all the numeric parts. All right. So in this manner, you can use this thing for your help. Means if you are working on a data set and you want to quickly review that thing, then you use this thing and you will get a rough idea about what are the things available in the data set, means on a particular data. Okay, so in this manner, now you can also put include object, then you will be getting the values related to data also. Okay, so what you have to do, see here, just you have to use d7 dot describe, and then just put here include and keep it here like objects. Okay, so this will show you all the things in the include is equal to objects. So this one is going to show you all the things. This one is showing you the error. What are the errors? Error is object not understood because I have used O as capital. So type it in a small and you will be getting all the smart summary about the data here. The count is 6, unique is 6. At the top, the value is as a, and frequency of repetition is 1. You can see the data here, just call D7 and you will get the rough idea how this one has visualized the data. So on sorting, you will get that as a will be at top. That's why it has described you as top at as a, and frequency of all the data is 1, and there are total 6 data available and all 6 are unique. So unique count is also 6. Okay. Now I'm not going to proceed so many things today because there are a lot of things, or otherwise we will miss so many things. So I am going to work on the short things, like I am going to show you some applications here like adder, and then we will be ending up the lecture today. Okay, so let's see the function applications of pandas. So how we will be using table wise function application, that one is first one is adder function. This one is actually doing what? The adder function adds two numeric value as parameter and return the sum. Okay, so if you want to operate on adder, then you have to use like this. See here the example. This one is actually creating a function, means to apply your own or another library's functions to pandas object. You should be aware of three important methods. The first one is called pipe method, second one is called application apply method, and third one is called apply map. Okay, so we are going to use the other functions, means this is not in the Python pandas library, but this one is from the other library. So I'm going to use all those things here by using pipe and apply method. Okay, means we are actually making a link between two different libraries. All right. So let's see how we do this thing. We will need all those things in functioning. Then you will be learning the data analysis in advance. Then you will get all those things. I'm just giving you a rough idea so that when anyone talk in front of you like these keywords, then you will be able to define them correctly. All right. So we have imported all the libraries. Now I'm going to create a function, defining a function element 1 and it takes element 2, and this actually add up the two function and return the value. This one is actually I'm creating a addition function. Okay, so just take like this ele and ele2, and I want to use it with the pandas library. This one is not from any other library. We are just creating our own function and just we want to use this with the pandas library. Okay, so how we will do this? For that we have to just first take a data frame. So I'm taking a data frame like pd dot data frames, and most of the time you have to create your own function and you have to apply on the data. So how you will do this? For that you have to use pipe method or apply method. So I'm just showing you the example how to apply all those things. Okay, so let's see random and then call 5 comma 3. This will create you the 5 columns and 5 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so set the column values as abc. I'm taking the values of column as a, another one as b, and the third one as c. So I have set the this thing. Now data frame has been created. Okay, now I'm going to apply the adder function in the data frame. Okay, so for that I'm going to use the pipe method. So for that what we have to use def dot pipe and just call the function adder and then pass the index. Okay, so this will give you the value like this. Okay, so you want to see the value first. So see here df is equal to this one. Okay, and the value is like this. Okay, so for the above value the given value is like this. Okay, this one has actually done what? It has added the value to the function. Now I am going to show you how to apply the numpy mean function in this. So what we will have to do, df means we are going to use the numpy library function mean in the pandas library. Okay, so for that I am going to use the apply method. So df dot apply and then go for the np dot mean. You can understand that np is for numpy, so we are using the numpy function in the pandas function. So here is the mean of all the columns. Okay, you can also apply by using row and column also. Okay, so these are the functions, means these are the methods. You can use the other libraries or your own function in the particular function. You can also use the apply map, and apply map will give you the power to apply all the vast calculations. That is not necessary for this training program, but I'm giving you a rough idea. Okay, so this is the thing. So this is all about for today. We will be studying all the things in the next lecture, because if you I am going to continue the lecture today, you will not be understanding all the things clearly. So I will be giving you the lectures tomorrow on the next topics like sorting and customizing the options, indexing and selecting data, and then we will also consider the group by missing data, and then we will go for the visualization part. All right, then we will move for the further modules. Okay, that's all for today. So thank you. See you all in the next lecture.